Joe Rebo given headspace. We'll come on to the transfer chat now. He's not. He needed headspace. I don't know why. What? Obviously, he's in the final year of his contract. If he needs headspace, not interested in being here. On your bike, mate. Go and drive you where you want. We don't want players right now that don't want to be here. Doesn't want to be here. On your go, on your jog. We need committed players now, and I think that's the big thing. You start looking into the transfer speculation around all these players, and I think you have to bear all of this in mind, because if Fernandes has got like 11 clubs interested in him, what they're saying, and his head's going to start being turned. I didn't realise actually. Still, Steve Grant said in a WhatsApp chat I was in today. It was a Total Saints WhatsApp group. He said that George Mendes is his agent. I didn't realise that. I should have known that. But George Mendes is Fernandes' his agent, which I think is quite interesting. He's agent to a lot of top players: Ronaldo, David De Gea, Jose Mourinho, Jamal, Jamal as well. I think I can't remember all the players, but I think Felix was one of them as well. There's a lot of good players that he is the agent for. Pretty big over in Portugal as well. So I think it'd be interesting what happens with Fernandes and what the valuation is. Nobody really knows, because it's never really come out. I don't have any sources. I'm not here with sources of stories. I know someone said at the top of the show, your sources, your sources were telling you lies last week. I have no sources. I just share stories that I hear on the grapevine across social media, and just have no sources in the club. We just literally bring what we see from Mark McAdam, from Alfie House, Sky Sports, the good sources. This is what we bring, and this is what we debate and chat about on the show. But nobody has ever really come out and said what Fernandes' actual value is. So what is his value, and what do Saints want for him? I'd be really intrigued to know exactly what the valuation is. But 11 clubs interested and want Fernandes, so there's no doubt that he's probably going to go. There was a fair bit of chat last week that West Ham want him, and no disrespect to West Ham now. I think he could probably do a little bit better than West Ham. I think he could do a bit better than that. I think his likely destination will be overseas. But I did say to somebody at the weekend, and they kept saying to me, and a lot of people come and said hello at the weekend, and we're talking about transfers and squad and where we're at. And a lot of people were talking about, Fernandes goes to West Ham, can we get James Ward-Prowse the other way? Look, I think that would soften the blow. I don't think James Ward-Prowse is going to come back in a month of Sundays. He's on 110 grand a week at West Ham. I cannot see that one happening, but it would probably soften that blow slightly. But with Fernandes, it's a number of clubs across Europe and the Premier League now that are circling around the midfielder at this moment in time. Saints are bracing themselves for bids. We don't know if they've had an official bid. There is a fans forum this coming Thursday. I hope to be there for that. I'm supposed to be working, so I need to juggle my arrangements, because I want to be there and try and report on it for the channel and bring that to you and get all the thoughts around it. If there's any questions that you want asked in that, I think it'd be quite interesting for you to drop them in the comments box below. Are there questions for you at the fans forum? If I get there, if I see a really good question in the chat, I might just pull it out and ask it if I get an opportunity. But it's an hour with a couple of hundred people in a room. It's really hard to get to get your question out there, really. So fans forum on Thursday, BBC Radio Solent, hosted by Adam Blackmore. That one, the club do it every year. It's quite a traditional thing, but you just end up with a lot of daft questions being asked, just nonsense stuff. Is the stadium going to be expanded, or is the women's team going to get any new signings? Is the men's team not going to buy any players? This is the sort of stuff you get. So hopefully there'll be some really good, sensible questions asked, and some really testing questions for once. That's exactly what we need. Right. I wanted to look at Fernandes' statistics. I like bringing stats onto the channel, and I like to have a look on a few websites that I go on, break down player stats. And I looked at Fernandes at the end of last season. I couldn't remember till I looked again today. And actually, it's so good when you look at it. I'm going to flick it on your screen because it's worth sharing. I want to share it with you because it's tremendous, his stats. Look, he only got 2 goals. The one thing about Fernandes, doesn't quite score enough goals, does he? His XG was 4.03, and he only got 2, so he's nowhere near his XG. His assists, he got just a 4. Still not quite enough creativity. 42 shots, good pass completion rate, very, very good. Created 34 chances, wins a lot of his duels, over 50% of his duels he won last year. Discipline was decent, just 8 yellow cards. Red cards he didn't get any, obviously, and he won the team 55 fouls. That is Fernandes' stats for last season. I thought it was worth having a look at because we looked at Diblin's the other day, and you could kind of look at Diblin's and say, you could see where he needed to improve. And I think the one thing about Matty, he's got everything, hasn't he? Probably just needs to start adding a few goals to his game. But I don't think there's any doubt that he will absolutely start doing that. There is no doubt about that. But that is Matty Fernandes' stats. Thought I'd share that on the channel with you this evening. Right, we will come to your chat very, very shortly as we work through the show. I did see today, actually, and somebody put it in the chat a minute ago, our ex-loanee from last season, Leslie Ogachukwu, was about to go to Burnley. I don't know if it's a completed deal, but I read it. It was a 5-year contract they're going to give him. Good signing for them. Real boost for them. Good player. Plays in the 6 and the 8, as we know. A little bit inconsistent with his performances, but a very good signing for them, Leslie Ogachukwu. It's a permanent move from Chelsea as well. Don't know what the fee is on that one. Elsewhere, I did see today on the Saints timeline on X that Victor Johansson can leave Stoke City in the next few days or weeks. There's a few movements around him. Apparently, there's Premier League clubs interested in signing him. And I know a lot of Saints fans were very, very interested in Victor Johansson, which I absolutely get because he's a great, great goalkeeper. There's no doubt about that. But the one thing I would say is Gavin Bazunu the weekend was fantastic. His distribution was good. He was sharp off his line. He sweeped up. He literally, his distribution was better than Ramsdale's actually the weekend. The way he got the ball to the fullbacks, and he looked so alert. And actually, maybe that injury and the timeout, the loan, and he's come back quite hungry to improve. He's definitely going to be the number one. He started the game the weekend. There's no doubt he'll be the number one. But will someone like Victor Johansson come in? I'm not convinced. We will bring another goalkeeper in. There's no doubt about that. It's whether that. I think we're more than likely to bring a number 3 in. We let Lumley go. It'd probably be a number 3. Now, just a quick reminder to you before we go to your conversation in the chat below. We'll answer some of your questions for the final 10 minutes of the show. This video drops tonight. My 25-26 championship predictions. My most anticipated, my most wanted video is here. Where do I have Southampton finishing? Is it as per that cover photo? You have to wait and see this evening when you tune in, if you remember. If not, you have to wait till later on tomorrow. Right, let's